everybody, and welcome back to the Brickanista Broadcast Network. And I am so excited because, oops, last night I took the time to redo my backdrop. And it's Happy May 1st. Hello, Glenn Copeland. Hello, Vicarious Brickstress. And I wanted to show you, I'm just going to angle this up there. I got BB-8 up there now. So I've got this all set up in preparation for the month of May. And I may have told you I got that Scooby-Doo cut out when I was in Arizona, and I haven't had a chance to put it up. And I've got to figure out a way that I can get them in frame. But right now, it's just really cool that I found this little drawer here in my apartment. I said, why am I not using that? So redid everything, and I'm so excited to be able to share that with you. Oops. So today, as you know, is the recap of the month of April's challenges. BB-8 is huge. Yes, he is. Well, that's why I was trying to figure out within the frame what I can do, but I figure it's still a good place for him. So welcome, Debo. Good to see you here. Yeah, and I have been working with my good friend, Nick Bright from Brighton Bricks. And please help me welcome to the stream, Nick Bright. Hey,
oh, no.
How's it going, Nick? How are
Hello,
you?
how are you?
Doing great. Like I said, I was so excited last night that I was able to redo my backdrop and have a couple things, set aside that, can now be displayed. I haven't been able to display that BB-8 very well, and the Scooby-Doo cutout has been in my back of my car for this longest time. So I'm just super excited to be able to at least put them up. I know you can't really see them that well here. I might have to rearrange maybe my setup so people can see it, but yeah, it's good to have you here.
Did you ever get the BB-8 Lego set?
I didn't get the full BB-8. I got a little BB-8. I have, I don't know if you can see it. Let me angle my, you see that there's the TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
And then right next to it is X-Wing.
Yeah.
And on the back of the X-Wing is BB-8.
Oh,
the
yeah.
little minifig.
I got the one the brick one. It was really, that was really, really nice. That
must have been awesome. That was like what, 2015 or so? That was a while ago.
Yeah, a few, yeah.
Wow. Well, welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. And as you know, we have been partnering on 2 different challenges. The first one was #MindTheBrick, which was back in January. And then Nick reached out to me about doing #EcoTheBrick. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I was going to ask you, Nick, about how's it feel? The month is over now, and you can take like a phew, sigh of relief.
It was really good. It was like, but again, it was one of those things where lots of other things happened this month, so it was all a little bit harder, should we say? But again, all this thing is, I think you're going to realize the thing you got to remember, all of this is meant to be fun. So that's the thing I had to keep on saying, look, don't do it because you have to, do it because you want to.
Right.
Because,
Right, exactly. And I think for those of you who aren't familiar with these challenges, the Mind the Brick and Eco the Brick challenges were primarily to raise awareness about social issues. And the first one was to raise awareness about mental health. And this one is to raise awareness about ecology and the environment. And I've been hosting 2 challenges. One of them is the Rebrick This challenge, and the other one is #Weekend Brick Limit, which we just launched in the month of April. So I wanted to thank you, Nick, because I kind of piggybacked off of your Eco the Brick in order to do that. And I was really pleased with what came out of the weekend brick limits as well during the month of April.
And I'm really looking forward to hoping that we might find out what the theme for May is going to be.
Oh, well, I kind of revealed that in my reel already.
Have you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but that's okay. I think everybody kind of has a feel for the theme for the month of May. So what we've decided to do, just to kind of give you a heads up, for those of you who don't know the history, I used to be co-hosting a challenge with Joriel Builds, and his idea was to take bricks for every day of the month. So today is the month of May. So you take one brick, make a mock out of it. And a lot of times that has to do with photography or incorporating it in a Photoshop with the backdrop, etc. And so we started that back in January of 2020, I think, or no, 2021. So that was for the entire year that Ms. Slowbrichta did every single day. She did 365 builds. It was just mind blowing that she decided to take every single day. And it is a lot to manage. And there was a time where Jorio Builds just had so much going on in his life. So I said, do you mind if I just take weekend brick limit? And it's a little bit more manageable. And then people aren't so stressed as well because they feel like they have to build every single day. So we started hashtag weekend brick limit the month of April. And I asked Nick, I said, hey, do you mind if I launch this along with your challenge? And it worked out great. I was so excited to see all of the builds. And that's when we decided to call a theme for the month. So this month is Eco the Brick. And at the end of the show, we'll talk about what next month's challenge, or starting today, what the challenge will be. But Nick, I just wanted to ask you, when you decided to choose Eco the Brick, what was your thoughts about, are you going to do this once a quarter and pick a theme to do this?
I kind of, yeah, I mean, always been about mental health, so that's why I kind of thought Mind the Brick. And then what my idea is, we are all Lego fans, but also we're all human beings. We all live in society and stuff like that. So again, it's sort of, can we use, can we use Lego to help communicate, and have conversations about stuff which is quite important, and things
Yeah.
like the environment at the moment is very important. It's one of those most important issues, and it's like, well, can also kind of think using something like Lego to talk about environment makes it a bit more fun, a bit more approachable, rather than
Right.
necessarily it makes it less dry, makes it less sort of, and it's,
And
just thinking, so what my kind of thing is probably
right.
once a quarter have something like this, and maybe the idea would be to kind of have maybe 3, maybe 4 for the year, which are regulars, and then maybe small things could pop up when other things occur, stuff like that. But I don't want to do it too regular, because obviously I don't want to kind of sort of, because of, it's a lot of work, but also I don't want to kind of, because I'm involving lots of other people for the challenges, and I don't want to kind of make people feel they have to do it. I want people,
Right.
because again, they want to do it. So, and not necessarily every subject will be what people may be interested in. There might be some months I may even do one, so something could quite niche and stuff like that. So it's, I'm going to do different things, and I just want to, and again, it's all about, what can we learn from each other? And that's, to me,
Yeah,
the great
that's
thing.
true.
It's just reading what people post and seeing what other people say and do. You learn so much from we learn from each other, really. So it's not about me teaching people, because it's not. It's about,
It's the
it's all,
community.
yeah,
And I think you've built a really amazing community of builders around the world. For those of you who don't know, Nick is based out of the UK, out of Brighton, so to
yeah,
speak. And it just so happens his last name is Bright as well. It's just a
yeah.
convergence of all of that.
Yeah, it's very handy to have that. For a
Right.
while, I think, was it you or some other people thought that it was? I think some people said, was it Bright on Bricks? And it was like,
hmm
it's no Brighton, and
Brighton is the city that you're based
yes,
in.
it's a city. It's by the coast. It's
hmm
the coast south of England.
Right.
We have beaches, but unlike most beaches, we don't have sand. We have
Oh,
pebbles.
they're
So
cliffs and rock. Huh?
it's our beach is very popular. It's a very popular. Trust me, in the summer, this place gets very, very busy, but it is sort of, but it's not really. It's, you don't sit on
hmm
loads of people sit on the beach, but it's not sitting there on the sand. It's
Oh, okay.
proper pebbles and stuff like that. So,
So I wanted to say hello to Mr. Dewey, who just arrived. Hello. And Debo had mentioned that Dawn, who is Ms. Slowbrichta, has brick endurance because she did every single day. And I should mention, she had been cast for Lego Masters Season 2. So she was also doing these daily challenges while she was traveling and while she was filming that show. So it's pretty amazing. Yes, and Mr. Dewey's also from the UK. So welcome. Glad to have you here.
Where
So
in the
yeah,
UK are you from, Mr. Dewey? Sorry, just asking.
yeah. Tell us where are you from, Mr. Dewey? I think he also goes by Mr. Louis, Dewey, Louie, and Huey. Sometimes we'll have three of them in the chat. But I think the other thing that was interesting about this challenge is how many animal builds came out of this. Because I think in the previous challenge with Mind the Brick, it was focused mostly on people. Whereas this one, because it was ecology and the environment, it was bringing in a lot of animals and other creatures that people could relate to. And Glenn Copeland says Pebble Beach. That's
Yeah.
in California, and that's a great place to golf.
Yeah, we have some very interesting, crazy golf in Brighton.
Oh yeah.
We even have we got a really nice lots of ones on the seafront. We've got one which is day neon in the dark. You just see day glow. So we've got
I
all
should
the
also
exciting stuff. We have
mention.
piers. We have the pier. We have all the arcade machines. Recommend it. Anyone in Brighton, come along.
And I'm also going to put in the chat that Lego April Dare also had challenges this month as well. And that's Geo, the Brick Jedi, and Fam, as well as Nicole, who is out of Germany, who had hosted that too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Instagram posts, and hopefully everybody who had used hashtag weekend brick limit, it'll show up there. But if we don't see one, please let us know and we'll go into your account and pull it up. Okay, Mr. Dewey's from the Northwest. So I would guess Manchester,
Could be
Wales,
Liverpool,
Scotland.
quite
I don't know. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
I think
northwest.
you
I would
said
say,
England though before. So I think
you
you're right.
might-
Manchester, Liverpool, kind of maybe up that way. Okay. All right. Why don't we go ahead and I'm going to share my Instagram and have that. So let's see. Make sure I've got this pulled up. Oops. Wait a minute. I got to put up Eco the Brick. Okay. So okay, it looks like we had 330 posts. So let me share that. All right. Each system is different, so I have to always get used to this. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what's weird is that I can't see this when I'm on the page, but I can kind of see it on my screen when I flip between. Okay, so I need to make this a little bigger, it looks like. Let's see, how's that? Let me see. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. And let me see if I can make this window any bigger. I've got this thing in the middle. Okay, that should do it, right? There we go. Now you can actually see them. Okay, cool. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the most recent and then continue down, though I will say this is already intriguing me. That looks like a rebrick. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start over here. You want to go with most recent or do you want to go with, okay. All right, so this one, and let me see if
my one.
Yeah, but it's still good.
I made that one. I think I made that one. I think it was yesterday. And it was just sort of, again, it was just that sort of, again, I had no idea what I was doing. And that's what I quite love about doing these things, these challenges. At first, I was just going, right, let's try and make something, let's try and see if I can make a mosaic. And I was going to make the center thing because I was trying to do symmetry and stuff like that. Then suddenly kind of had that sort of like, well, it had like a weird turtle shape to it.
Right.
And then I thought, well, let's make it, then extend it, make a head and make it that. And it was just, yeah, it's just one of those nice kind of, it was, you know, I just like sometimes, yeah, going in where you don't have an idea of what you're doing and it doesn't quite matter. And that is just, it was
Right.
just nice, relaxing and building it and going, oh,
And you just say what comes to your mind while you're doing it. And when you see mine's actually similar to yours when we get to the rebrick one that I did. And it was fun because they had so many eyepieces in
yeah.
there.
And
And
it's, yeah,
I'm trying to make this bigger just so the chat knows. This StreamYard for some reason is not allowing me to hold up. Maybe this will work. Okay. How's that? Is that better?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's much better. I'm switching between screens so I can see this. Wales is southwest. Okay, thank you, Glenn.
From
John
Blackpool,
O'Groats.
the
Okay,
Blackpool Tower.
and he's from Blackpool. Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, well, you can tell my geography isn't that great. But the other thing I wanted to mention about this particular build is that it's almost like you have a flock or a group of characters all swimming in the same direction.
Yeah, that was sort of that again, it was one of the things when I did the middle creature, it was like, well, I've got a load of parts left, and he's like, I don't want to keep adding to it to like that. So it's
Hmm.
like, oh, then make some weird other ones, and it just slowly added. Yeah, it slowly just added, and it was just one of those things again evolved where,
Hmm.
and that's just what I just again, it was just so much fun, and but then trying to use as many pieces as possible, so you get them go, okay,
Right.
well, you get them go, all right, what have I got left? What have I got left? Okay,
Hmm.
and it is that fun going, okay, right now, right, what can I do with that? What can I do with that? It's like,
So I'm just gonna go in reverse chronological order
yeah,
then. And now that I know what I need to do to make this bigger, oops. Oh, I tell you, Lego, you're making me, all right, or Instagram. All right, so why is this not moving? Oh, okay, there we go. And like I said, I don't know why this system is working the way it is, but what I was excited about this is that this build is based around that bottle of water.
mm,
So it just so happens I went into this grocery store, this little boutique grocery store, and they
mm,
had that box of water there. And I said, oh my gosh, that is so perfect for what I'm trying to do, right? And there's just supposed to be like me as a young child drinking this water from this little carton. And here's a better close up of the build. So these two trees, what this is supposed to represent is that when you purchase this bottle of or this box of water, they say post it and use the hashtag Better Planet, and then they will plant two trees on your behalf.
oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? And it
Yeah,
made me think too about how we're okay with having water in cans and water in bottles, but
mm,
we never think about going to have water from a box. Whereas we do that with milk, we do that with orange juice, we do that with
mm,
a variety of things. And there's the breakdown of the various build. But it just struck me as interesting that this company has really made it intentional about using that using the whole box as a part of their I guess what's the word I'm looking for, their promotion. I don't know why this is giving me a hard time. Okay, let me see. Let's try that. Oh, it's not giving me the full thing. I'm sorry, but okay. So this next one, and let me see if I can get the description up. This is from Nick's Bricks Picks. And you can see that this is the end of the full story. And maybe we should have gone in chronological order now that I think about it. But this is the end where Bricks Nick's Picks has actually built everything and put it together as one composed piece, which is really great. And Mr. Dewey says, you're finally getting the Star Wars Skywalker saga. Awesome for your Xbox. And Debo says, I've got water on tap. Right. Living large. That's cool. Yeah. So if we go through the original, in fact, this might be a good segue. Let me see if I can do this. If we go to her posts, all right, let me see if I can go to her page. Uh-oh. Oh no, it froze. Oh, great. I've been having some computer problems, so this froze, didn't it?
Oh no.
Did we freeze too?
No, I know, not on mine. I can still see everything.
Oh, okay. The problem is it's like my browser froze. Like my whole okay. I think I'm back. No, my
No.
browser froze. So, okay, well, at least we're still live. So I'm starting to think, I wonder if you can share. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Because right now I can't see anything. Even when I click on the tabs, I can't see anything. I wonder if, see, the problem is if I leave, I don't know if that's going to kill the session or if I can come back. I think I can come back. Okay, let me see. It's like my whole screen is frozen. Oh man. Okay, okay, all right. I'm gonna try this. So everybody in the chat, if I leave and it kills the session, just come back on because we'll restart it again. And Nick, if you're there, just keep talking and I'll come back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But at least you can still hear me, which is great. Okay, so we will see it in a bit.
Let's fingers crossed, as they say.
Okay, let's see if I can. I'm not even. I might have to do a hard reboot on this because it's not. It's like my whole computer is frozen. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna try something else. Maybe this will still work, but no. Okay, I'm gonna restart. So I'm gonna restart, and hopefully you'll still be there when I come back. Okay. Otherwise, we'll restart it, everybody. Okay. All right. We'll see you in a bit.
Let's see what happens. So, Mr. Jewett, I can ask a question. So, did you get the Lego Star Wars the saga with the minifigure, the Luke minifigure? Because that's the one, I have to admit, I want to find. I'm so tempted to get a Nintendo Switch just so I can get the game. So, has anyone else played it? What shall we say? What should we talk about? Oh, I think it's me on my own now. So has anyone else got the game played? Haven't plugged in a console over the decade. I'd probably same here actually. That's why I almost would have to get a Switch. I remember having the old games. I remember having the Marvel ones. So I don't know if that's 10 years ago or how long ago was that. Definitely. No, I haven't got an Xbox. No, I had a PlayStation. And I'm trying to remember which one it was, a 2 or a 3. I can't remember now. It's sort of, yeah. But no, that's why I have a very little one who's very tempted who wants a Switch. So I'm very much tempted to get a Switch and basically use it for that. Because also you can connect it to the TV. And then I can persuade him to play all the Lego games. Let's see. he's already Lego obsessed already, so I've managed to convert him. So. Yeah. I don't think I've got definitely haven't got a 5, and I don't think I've got a 4. I'm sure it's a PlayStation 3 I've got, I think. But I have no idea where it is though. Oh, I had a Wii, yeah. And again, I think I've got one of those collecting dust somewhere. It was, yeah. It's one of the things that was great fun at the time, but yeah, you need to get into the regular using it. So has anyone got any of the new Lego sets which came out today? Who's gonna collect the Muppet Lego figures? And so yeah. Yeah, I was very, very happy when basically they came out. So got my Kermit, but my favorite is, where is he? I've got to find him now. Switch Sports. Is Switch Sports like Wii Sports? Or was that like same thing like bowling and tennis and stuff like that?
I'm back.
Oh, you wait for the Muppets, yeah. As I say, this is my favorite Muppet.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Right.
put you full screen. Oh,
So I got, yeah.
wow.
Oh, bought 2 boxes. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got 2 boxes too on order because it went live yesterday. So that's why I think Debo and I will be swapping if we get doubles. But yeah, sorry about that. I had to do a full reboot, and then I had to get into um, Gmail to get my password to get into StreamYard. Oh my gosh. So I'm glad you're still here. I hope
yeah.
you had a good chance. I thought you might be sharing your screens, because I was wondering if you could share your screen to see if that might work. Or
I didn't think about that actually. Maybe I should have tried actually. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you want to try that because I don't know if my screen's gonna freeze again, but I can try again, and then maybe we'll.
Are we still going back in time? We're going to start from the current, or do we
Well,
want to
I'm
try and go?
wondering, since I kind of did a reboot, maybe we should go from the beginning because then you can kind of see the progression of some of the builds, because some of them started with, I think it was day 2 with like different plants sprouting.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do that. So maybe maybe that's what the universe was telling us. It's like, you're going in the wrong direction. Go start with the beginning. So do you want to try sharing, or should I try again, knowing that at least I can get back in?
I'm just trying to find when was the last one? Yeah.
We were
Uh,
just doing the one with the turtles,
yeah. I'm trying.
with the where she rescued the turtles.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find, because if we talk about the weekend, I'm trying to find.
I was just
Let's see.
doing Eco the Brick.
Yeah, I'm on that, but I'm trying to, because it goes so far back with all the other challenges. It goes way.
Oh,
I'm trying.
okay. Maybe we should just do then, you wanna start with weekend brick limit and then do the rebrick this challenge?
Well, I mean, I say I can. Let me see how far back I can. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'll
Or
go
I
back.
could try again. Like I said, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
everybody, for technical difficulties. This is low production value. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's been a crazy, crazy, I
I think.
I
Okay,
have been compromised on one of my Instagram accounts, and I think the hackers are just having fun with me.
that's a
Let's
nightmare.
see. Let's do weekend brick limit.
Oh, I've seen recently you're on Twitter as well.
I am, but that's another that's another issue. So, Okay, I'm doing a search on weekend brick limit.
I think I might have found one. I think it'll say, yeah, April the 2nd. So I think I found it. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think somebody's messing with my computer, so definitely use yours.
okay.
Because I'm on Instagram and it's it's really acting weird.
Mine's okay so far.
Okay. Thank you everybody for being so patient. What do I think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? I'm concerned, honestly, because and we've been concerned about this from the beginning anyway, about how a certain agenda can be followed based on who owns a specific company. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think. What do you think, Nick?
It's a hard one. Free speech is the hardest thing to know in the world because it's a very hard because genuine free speech also means speech we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find where's that gray area, where that balance is how, because we need to have some protection because obviously, there's lots of
Mm-hmm.
things which people say which could be fake, which are unreal,
Right.
fake news and stuff like that. Where, and again, especially with the whole what we've had with COVID and the conspiracy people, all that. So there's elements where there is free speech. In some ways, you should say free speech should be allowed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I say, because if you don't, you get situations like what's happening in Russia, where they don't
Yeah.
have free speech, and you get propaganda and people in the stuff you hear about Russia, how people in Russia generally don't believe what's happening in Ukraine, and it's quite scary and very kind of like with all the massacres happening in Ukraine, a lot of people in Russia going, no, that's not true, none of it's happening. So
Right.
that's why you need free speech to have things like that, but also free speech can go too far, and it's like, but then who decides what's too far? And this is why it's really a complicated subject. And it's like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there are probably a lot more intelligent people than me who I don't know the answer, but we need to find a balance. I think a lot of the balances should be about respect. It should be about, we should be able to respect
True.
and listen to what people say, and we need to be less tribal in our probably responses and say, look, we should all be kind of learn to have respect and understand, go, look, I don't necessarily agree with you, but I respect
Mm-hmm.
your decision to say it. And I think we
Right.
need to have that more, and more kind of maybe more factual, kind of like when people are doing fake news and stuff like that, go, look, this isn't real, more accountability. I mean, I think, yeah, this is why it's hard. We have to have limits, because there are very bad people out there who will say bad things, but
Well, they have bad intentions, right?
yeah.
And I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying about hackers and
Mm,
such. And honestly, I think it's kind of amusing because I have no money, right? It's just
mm.
kind of like, why don't you, bring my debt down instead, instead of trying to, get money from me. I just think it's hilarious. But okay, I think I have weekend brick limit up, just weekend brick limit without
Okay.
eco the brick.
Yeah.
And I think we can probably do it from there. Do you want to try that?
Yeah, that's probably better, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at it and it's maybe a little bit out of order, but usually most of them are two-piece builds. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try sharing this again, and hopefully we're not going to get another technical issue,
Yeah.
but let's try this. It's Twitter, shrug.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try sharing this again. Okay. And please work this time. Okay. How's that look?
Yes. That's what I've got. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're going to go in reverse or in chronological order from the first of the month down. And so we started with two pieces. So for those of you who are new, this was the announcement. And this, by the way, thank you, Nick, for putting this together. I'm going to leverage a lot of this for what I want to do for May. And so the first build was for April 2nd, and you can see some of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on these real quick. And this is from PT McEwen. It says spring is coming and the flowers are just starting to bud. So really cute little build, two-piece build. And he also used pieces from the turtle, the dolphin and turtle set for the Rebrick This challenge. So a lot of people did that. What they would do is they would look at the build and then decide to do their, X number of pieces based on what the pieces were in the set. So that was cool. And this one I think is from you, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah, I was going for one of my long walks I do, hikes, and I always, everywhere I go, I always take Lego with me and take photos. And it just, I came across a muddy pond, and I just, again, it just one of the things and I had a shark in my pocket,
it was
as you do.
great.
And I just kind of loved the idea, it's a sort of, again, two pieces representing, how we pollute our oceans. So
Yeah.
and it just, again, it was just the way the sun was out,
perfect.
and I just quite liked,
Yeah, you even got the sun flare over here
Yeah.
as well, which is really cool. And bye, Mr. Dewey. Have a good day. All right, so let's see. Let me see if I go in the right direction. Okay, good. I'm doing this in the right direction. So this is from Lego Elf 7. And this person's decided to grow a Lego garden. And that's another thing which was cool about this one, because since we focused on the environment, you saw a lot of plant builds as well. And so I'm going to go a little faster because just in case the thing freezes again. And here's another example of, this was from Omvent Clothes, and I think they're in the Netherlands. And this one was nice because they took it outdoors and they started with the plate, the brown plate, and added the first little bit of green. And you're going to see this one grow over time. And that's why it was great that you set the example of, filming or the photography outdoors. And here's some more photography outdoors.
Yeah, and that's films like this. That's what I just love. Again, it's how we're kind of mixing Lego and the natural environment. And again, it just shows how even just with two simple bricks, you can do really effective photos.
And especially outdoors. And in her description too, she talks about how they have these two spruce sprees taking a selfie with their wild cousins in the background. So, and apparently these were planted, the real trees were planted over 30 years ago, along with over 100 of the extended family, which I think is really cool. That little bit of history that she added in there too. And so the chat's asking about you having a shark in your pocket.
Yes, I literally do always. I just carry Lego always in my bag or my pocket everywhere I go, and it's like, just because it always part of it is for part of my mental health, that sometimes I will just fiddle with a Lego minifigure.
That's awesome. I don't actually carry Lego with me. I should put some in my, my bag with me wherever I go.
And lots of times it's just when I'm going around somewhere, I'll take a picture, it's just taking pictures, and suddenly you go and it's sometimes it's just stuff I can put on Instagram and stuff like that, or just sometimes it's just fun to do it. Yeah.
And Glenn says that is what he said. You have a shark in your pocket.
Yes, shark in my pocket.
That's going to be a phrase now.
Yeah.
That's going to be a meme. This one is absolutely adorable. This is from Geo the Brick Jedi and fam, who hosted the Lego April Dare ones. And I just love the Trolls line, that they had a lot of these really quirky little figures in here. And this one is absolutely adorable. And I think if you look at where it's placed, it looks like it's on a picnic bench, and she put it directly right in the center of this circle, which I think adds a lot to it as well.
It does. It's sort of
and here she does, and there's the little knot that was perfect for that. And she was also really good, much better than I was about putting the actual challenge in with her post. That's what I love about this community is that they're really diligent about that. And this is from Nicole, Brick Build World. And she also started doing kind of builds that were growing plants. And she also did the same thing with putting the challenge out there. Okay, good. This is good. We're in a groove now. And this is from Jade's Bricks and Pops. And once again, this whole theme about, these flowers growing and developing over time. And some of them built full gardens too by the end of the month. I'm gonna check the chat. You're now taking your shark to work. Okay.
Maybe that should be the next theme. Yeah, let's do shark. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. You have to have
Week.
a shark. When is Sharknado week? I think that's in July. I think you're gonna start something, Nick. I think we're gonna have to have Shark Month, and that'll be where you have to put a shark in your build, and hopefully Shark Month doesn't have July 1st, or I think it's July. Okay, and then Doug said, or Glenn says, I carry a pair of brick separators at all times. Yes, I do. I do too. I have it on a keychain.
I usually again have them in my pocket because again, when I do workshops, I'm always having them, and sometimes I end up putting in pockets and stuff like that. It's like, yeah.
And here's Red's bricks, and this one surprised me because I didn't realize you could put a flower into the curve of this sprout piece. It was like, are you kidding? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what I like about this challenge is that you learn new techniques too. This one is from Brickworm. And I thought it was really clever how she used that translucent piece to designate rain. Very, very simple, but very effective. Oh, this one's mine.
Yes, I love these figures. They're so cool.
This is a Duplo figures, and this is Forest Friends, Little Forest Friends. And what's funny is that I use these for another challenge that Jennifer or Jen Brick Fam builds. I think she does the habitat challenges. Yeah, so I was focusing on these because it's spring, right? And they're all about flowers and ladybugs and spiders and mushrooms and all kinds of things. So yeah, that was fun to do, little Duplo pieces. Okay, for a minute there, I thought my screen was going to freeze. Here's that Nick's Bricks pic. So remember when we were talking about the last one she did was she cleaned up the pond and the turtles were no longer suffocating from the bags. So she started off the build with this little frog, the frog on the lily pad.
It would be interesting to know if she had the plan when she started with that. Did she know where she was going, or was it one of those things where as she did it, almost the story came along,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This frog, I'd be curious to know, sort of.
And she looks like she's from Australia because it says she's from Queensland.
Yeah.
Oh, this one,
I like this one,
too. And like I said, from the Netherlands. And these little bee pieces from the Minecraft set. I thought that was very clever in that they did the photography on a leaf or on a branch. That is so cool. All the different angles. Oh, I forgot about the video.
Ooh.
That is so cool. And let me check the chat real quick.
That's what I love is how, that it's only two pieces, but all these are so obvious what they are.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sharks Worldwide and It's bar hole size. Okay. Oh, my dog is, what are you upset about, girl? All right, let me go back and let's continue with the slideshow. Okay, this one is from Ms. Slowbrickta, and this is when we get to day 3 for 3 pieces. And this was really a clever idea. She put her trans flowers into the snow to prop them up, and then she had them around her real flowers in her garden.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I didn't realize they were. I thought they were real flowers.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize they were. It's
It
like
looks
when I first
amazing.
looked, I wondered where was the Lego.
Right. Right. No, it's right there.
Hmm.
And that's another thing is that I think because this was Eco the Brick, we had a lot of builds that were outdoors.
Hmm.
And here's Lego Elf again. So remember when I was saying I didn't realize you could put that flower piece inside that sprout, and then they added the leaf pieces here. Oh, this one is absolutely adorable.
Yes, this is. I love.
And I think the other thing about this is, I mean, the whole idea about this one is about sustainability and about the fish that we eat. And this one, she references Sir Awesome Fishy. I'm sorry, Sir Awesome Fishy. And Sir Awesome Fishy has a clownfish as kind of an icon or a
Yeah, they
mascot.
have a kind of. Yeah, they have a kind of a
Yeah.
plush. Yeah.
And I didn't realize they had a surfboard with this print on it or sticker, which I thought
Yeah,
was
I just.
really cool. And this little character on the left, are you familiar with that one?
No, I'm trying to work out where that's from. I mean, my guessing would be it looks sort of looks a bit Nexo Knights. Is what my
Oh, does
initial
anybody in
impression
the chat
is.
know?
Um,
The B is 3 pieces. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. This one is really cool.
mm,
So, and it looks like, one of those voodoo balls with a print on it. It
yeah.
could also be from one of the Chinese New Year sets, maybe?
No, I don't think that. I don't
No?
think so, but I mean, it could be. It has a sort of. I know there were a lot of like fire creature. I mean, it could be even Ninjago. I don't know. With a lot of. Um,
It even got the reflection of the ring light,
yeah,
which is perfectly aligned in the center, which I think is
like a
hilarious.
little
But look at
nose.
the mouth and the teeth on that.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. All right. And I
Yeah.
know her next slide is going to be just the ad. So on some of
A
these,
couple of people have said Nexo Knights as well. Actually.
oh, it is
Yeah.
Nexo Nights. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one's yours.
Yeah.
And talk about
Just
the 3 R's.
and it just again got recently some of the new Lego dot sets with the,
Mhm,
basically the
mhm,
printed tiles. Just talking about the 3 R's, obviously now some people will say there's 5 R's, 6 R's, 7 R's,
mhm.
9 R's, but the 3 principal R, it is, reuse, recycle, reduce,
Reduce.
reuse,
Mhm.
and recycle. And I think one of the things, a part of the post was about how, as a society, we do concentrate. I know, particularly here in the UK, we concentrate a lot more on recycle rather than
Right.
the first two. And really, the first two are the more important ones. We should really reduce our waste first.
Mhm.
That should be the important one. And if we don't, we should then reuse it. Recycle should be kind of the one we should do last. It's sort
That's a
of,
great
yeah.
point.
So that was what that sort of. Though the only thing which again my slight OCD bit comes out is that if you notice the one on the right
Mhm.
is slightly turned, and
Yeah.
it only after I post it I gotta go and sometimes you think should I have actually redone it, but at the time I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Well, if
But
you really had OCD, you would import it into Photoshop and
yeah,
then take a copy of the one in the center and then overlay it on the other two. So
Yeah.
then they're all perfectly aligned.
My kind
But
of
we
laziness
don't have
came
to
in.
worry about
My
that.
other laziness was kind of I should also the gaps between the R's were too long on it, but so there's a struggle between my OCD versus my um inactivity, should we call, where it's like, oh no.
No, I think it's also you should be kind to yourself that you
Yes.
got the message across, and just because that one little R is off doesn't mean the message is
No,
any less.
exactly. Yeah.
Hmm. And here's from Jade's Bricks and Pops doing a three-piece build. And the other thing I like about these descriptions is that they also talk about keeping their deep green foliage through the winter and provide shelter to many animals from the harsh winters.
Mm.
So I think the other nice thing is that this has been an educational process too, because you see these nice big trees, and there's a big lumber industry here in the Pacific Northwest. But think about all the animals that rely on the trees as well. It's not just the forest being overgrown.
Yeah, there's a lot of over here in the UK as well about potentially not having sort of wild gardens and wild
Mhm,
areas where you
mhm,
don't let I also was long doing bright bricks. I also work at a school,
right,
and one of the things at the school they're doing is trying to have certain areas at which they could have called kind of a nature garden, wild garden,
mhm,
where we're not cutting back the grass. We are letting it just grow wild. So it does attract butterflies and
right.
other insects and animals. So I think again, it's about, yeah, trying to kind of preserve all sorts of. I'm basically been busy looking, trying to on Bricklink, trying to see if I can't find anything of that surfboard.
Well, we're gonna have to ask her where the surfboard came from,
Yeah,
because Glenn in the chat says there's only one set with an orange surfboard and it doesn't have a sticker on it. But that sticker was perfectly aligned with that
I
one. So
I have a feeling that might be printed.
it
That
might be
might
a
be,
printed one. Maybe she had it custom made too.
yeah, because all
Right. Now this one is adorable with that little creature. I think I'm not sure where it's from, but it looks like a salamander. Maybe it's from one of the
I think it'll be from the looks like from the Disney
like a
set,
yeah,
maybe?
I was just gonna say a Disney set. Maybe Moana or
Possibly, yeah.
hmm very cute, but three pieces there. And this one, so this is going in chronological order. So some people jumped in after they heard about the challenge. And this one's from Zerba7672. Just surf and sand. Oh no.
Uh,
It's like I was getting nervous whenever my screen just kind of keeps moving. Okay, and this one is where she adds grass for day 3. I think that's a nice thing about weekend brick limit is that if you're kind of stressed and you still want to do the build, you can just think, okay, it's a 2-day build and you just have to add one more piece for the second day.
but it also means if you got an idea of doing something like that, sometimes with doing a daily one, I tried it once where I added a part each day,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt a bit like didn't feel much because you're only adding one small thing each day, and
Right.
it didn't feel. At least with this, you can do add a small thing maybe Saturday, then a small thing Sunday, and then the following weekend you already got another 8 pieces to add, or makes it a bit more. You can feel you can do a bit more to it.
So people are researching the orange surfboard while we're chatting, which I think is great. Okay. And once again, as we start growing, here's another person who used that same technique with the sprout and the flower in it. And the 3 pieces. And I do like these little spiky green leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And PT McEwen adding a flower to his original build that we saw earlier. And I think, yep, he's using also the pieces from that set. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is from Brickworm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a Duncan yo-yo for April 3rd, and so there's a little pin connecting these two discs together, which is very clever. And I don't know if you knew that Brickworm is the sister of Miss Slobricta.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, yeah, she's the one who actually got her into the challenges to begin with early on, and then she ended up getting onto Lego Masters season 2.
Which is currently being shown in the UK just now, actually. So
Oh, oh, cool.
we're currently watching it at the moment. So we're quite behind the UK. Like we're only on the second season of the US, and we've
Hmm.
only had 2 seasons of Australia. So we're still
Right.
waiting for the third season of, because I know Australia have got the fourth season on as well at the
Hmm.
moment. So
So this is my little coral piece, which will be recurring also in my builds too, as they
did you
continue on.
what set did you get that from? Because I've seen that in I think Mario's, in
Um,
some of the Super Mario sets.
this one I think I got from a poly bag. There's a poly bag that has this and a manta ray
Yeah.
in it. Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's a
just
really cool piece.
that little orange ball, I
Mhm.
found it that was in an Exo Knight set. I've got a picture of that, so it was.
Okay. And then Debo says he's only seen season 1 of UK Lego
There
Masters.
was only 2 seasons of the UK one, and the
Mhm.
second season of the UK one was interesting because they haven't done UK one is always a bit different to both the US and all the other ones.
Mhm.
The UK the second season, they actually I think the first season did it as well, but then they had teams of children and adults together.
Right. Right.
So unlike where, you have, I think, you have parents and stuff like that in the US one and Australia,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
they're
they don't
adults.
have kids because of the work schedule. Because I think with kids, you can't force a kid to work like 10 hours.
No, that's what I say. That's why the UK was all the challenges were much like it was like
Right.
2 hours or 3 hours. But what was always interesting, the UK one was, I remember say in the first series, it was a bit like, "Oh, why are there kids on there? They're not that good." And but so eventually you came to realize, particularly after the second
Mhm.
season, it was like during the second when, yeah, right, technically they may not be as good as some of the adults, but imagination and creativity,
Yep.
they outshone the adults, because it was quite something. You had a lot of these adults on the show who were like technically good, but couldn't tell the story. And it
Yep.
is good. That was what was
That's where the
fascinating
kids
about.
really come into play. So this
Oh,
this
this
one
is
is from Karen.Lego, and I wanted to point out this sticker.
mm,
So this sticker is something that caused a lot of chat on this particular build. And there's a person part of snail lug, and you
mm,
notice there's a little snail right here on top of the mount.
yeah.
And now she's like, "Where did you get that?" And they're definitely going through and checking and ordering them. Yeah, I'm trying to see where that particular sticker was from. It says in my comment. Okay, why is it not seeing this? Ah, okay. Little forest creatures, and oh no, that was me. She did say where it's from. It's from a tiger rescue set. So everybody, after seeing this sticker, all of a sudden wanted to order the sticker. See, snail lug. Oh my God, ordering the stickers from Bricklink ASAP. So, but it goes back to what I loved about this particular challenge is you saw all these little creatures, being created and flowers. So this is Miss Slobricta again. And this time she has her 9-piece build and she put the sprout coming through the axle hole, which I thought was very clever. And here's the back view as well. So that she does a lot of good work. It's pretty amazing. And this one is so cute. This one is, and what's great about this message is that, okay, so this isn't specifically environmental, but the message here is that you need to change the laws and write to your politicians. about what they're doing about climate change. And
I would say that is environmental. That is because again, that's
it
what.
is definitely
Yeah,
environmental. It's just a different take on the
yeah,
challenge.
exactly. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, which I thought was very clever. And I liked the way they did this mailbox too, this little angle that they did with
yeah,
the rocker hinge. I thought that was really well done. So here's more of the Lego elf growing with the 9 pieces now.
yeah.
So like I said, this is where it gets exciting because you see all the bills kind of getting bigger and bigger. And this was from Nicole S. Brickworld, where she did the same thing. And she numbered her pieces. And this is the build itself coming together. And I hope people don't mind that I'm going to go through these kind of fast because we're only on day 9 here. And
But
we
the
did have
advantage there
extra
isn't, yeah. But then it does jump, so it's not
Mhm.
like every day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've found that sticker sheet on Bricklink, by the way. So
Yeah, you're gonna go buy it too?
no, yeah. If anyone wants to know, I could give the reference. And
Oh, okay, you can put it in the chat. You can
Mm.
type I think you could type it in the chat. Okay, so this one is from Zerba7679, same thing, where they, added to their display. Now this one, Geo the Brick Jedi does some hilarious, so she's the one who also had the orange surfboard earlier, and this little red character, like, poking out of the bush, it's just, like, scoping things out.
that looks
I
like
just think
that looks like
yeah.
an Ninjago Games figure.
Well, it says a Minotaurus gladiator.
Oh, it might be one of the majority. Yeah, it's from one that it's one of those sort of micro figures from the Lego when they
Yes.
used to make Lego games.
Yes, I think it's from the Lego games,
Yeah,
but I think it's just perfect how she put all of these
yeah.
plants around and have this little guy, like, poking his head up, like, scoping things out, which is awesome. Okay, here's mine. So this one is just a 9-piece build, and then when I added to it, I just added a creature. So once again, what's nice about kind of just having the weekend is you can say, okay, I don't have a lot. I don't have to stress about doing a completely new build with adding,
Mm.
you could just add one more piece. Oh, this one is from Femme from the Block. Oh my gosh. Her builds
Okay.
really set the story, and her photography is so
Mm.
good.
It's
So
the
this
light.
is
It's the
where
kind of that yellow. It's that yellow against the background, which is great.
yes, it's so awesome, and the how she has the sand barge there, and the character who's her wife, Heather, and picking up trash that's washed
Mm.
up on the shore. And it's actually talks about they just moved up to Portland, and it says one of our early dates. Oh, actually, this might have been also in the San Francisco Bay Area, but one of our early dates on the beach. There's a lot of trash, and she immediately started picking it up and definitely helped me fall for her. Isn't that
Oh,
so sweet?
that's cool.
Of course, I joined in, but there aren't enough pieces for my sig fig to join her. Please don't litter. If you litter in
Yeah.
nature, especially near rivers, storm drains, and the ocean, pick it up. We all got to do our part.
Mm.
But I think the personal story here about how she fell in love with her because she was cleaning up the beach, I think that's really sweet.
Mm. That's
And
my one.
this is yours, right?
Yeah, and this again, I mean, a lot of this is this was partly suggested by my 4-year-old and partly kind of done, but
Mhm.
that's his hands involved. Again, what the inspiration of that is, we do have to look after an environment, we do have to look after this, but also we have to think about world going forward. We live in a world, we can't suddenly now stop. We can't suddenly all go, right, we're not going to use phones anymore. We're not going to use electricity. We're not going to use, we
Mhm.
can't, technology does exist. We have opened that
Right.
bottle, and we've got to find a ways of how can we balance that really with looking after the environment. How can we
Mhm.
still, and again, part of the reason I got my son involved, because again,
Mhm.
it is people like their generation, it's sort of, they're the ones who are going to suffer. They're the
They're the
ones who
ones
are going to
who are
be,
going to have to face the consequences of our decisions.
yeah, and it is about
Mhm.
finding that balance between
Yeah.
technology, it is about, like,
And Debo
uh,
also wanted to mention that he liked the kids on the UK show because it added a
yeah, it was, yeah,
perspective
I
too.
agree with that totally.
Hmm. That was also in Lego Masters Season 1, where they brought some kids on to challenge the builders on a
Yeah.
specific way to build something. And this one's from Karen Lego. So this is the same person who had the sticker. And hedgehogs are under threat due to loss of habitat and food and declining reproduction as well. So I didn't know this about hedgehogs. I know they're really popular in the UK.
Yes, they are.
Hmm.
But again, what it is where, particularly here in the UK, where a lot of it has happened was because you used to have lots of small farms which all had hedgerows and things
Hmm.
like that. And there's a lot of, again, wildlife there and now what's happened is a lot of these have come, hedgerows get all cut out, they've become big super farms, so to speak,
Yep.
massive fields, and it's like that. And it's sort of, and again, this is what I was saying about what things like my school are doing and other places. It's about having areas of the environment which are, you let nature take over again,
Hmm.
and that does give then habitats for things like
Yeah.
butterflies, hedgehogs, etc. So
And here we have Miss Lobricta with more flowers. In fact, she mentions in all of her posts, I'm doing more flowers, and here's more flowers.
yeah.
But she always has this really good eye for her flowers, which I think is wonderful.
Mm.
And here's an Omvent Cluds who also started doing flowers too. So day 4 is which he says is 10 pieces. And I think Omvent Cluds was the one who did the mailbox earlier. So,
Mm.
doing 2 completely different builds for day 9 and day 10,
Mm.
I think it's awesome that he takes the time to put things out, makes sure that they're very well placed and photographed, and very, very sweet. Which is one of the reasons why I like the weekend brick limit too, because I think because it's also the weekend, people feel they have time to take
Yeah.
things outside. And this one's from Jade's Bricks and Pops. And very, very cute here too. I think this little mushroom piece, I'm gonna have to get that. With that little smile on the face there. And that's another reason why I love these challenges, is that they're pieces that I was not
That's
aware of.
that's one. I think that's from one of the one of the recent CMF collectible minifigures.
Yeah, I
The
think it might be from the Acorn Boy,
Yeah, I think it's
right?
Cynical one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it had this little smile on its face. I
Mm.
I wasn't looking at them close enough, I think. So I think that's part of it. And here is for day 10, they bring a little boat in. So this little boat is, I'm not sure where that piece came from. So,
No.
the sailboat piece, yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's always amazes me because then I start thinking, where is that piece from? Yeah, very cute. I like how they combined it together. Oh, here's another good one from Femme from the Block. And this has to do with or I'm sorry, oil spills
Yeah.
and being able to clean up oil spills. And this is another thing, these Friends Cape pieces. I wasn't aware of these cape pieces, but they do make a perfect
Mm.
piece for an oil spill. Yeah. So, and it looks like I'm just gonna read this real quick. I wanted to use the Friends Cape pieces as oil spills ever since I saw them. I was integrating them into a habitat build, but I realized I was showing the problem when I'd rather be showing the solution. So I did some research, found this graphic on the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration website, and thought there's a way to share how these spills are cleaned up at sea. So here is an infographic which talks about dispersion, burning, and skimming. So I think the skimming, she did a good job showing that. And I think the airplane coming up too to soak things up. And this was interesting because this is the habitat build, and how she has the oil spill from this, but instead of showing the problem, so she pretty much took one challenge and integrated it into ours. which I thought was really cool. And I love this airplane. How
That's again another CMF figure from a few years
yes,
ago.
yes. It's very, very,
They had
very
it was a
cool
girl
image.
in a basically kind of costume in an aeroplane suit.
Mhm. And here's Zerba's adding the flower in there. That's nice. So like I said, the landscapes just keep growing and growing. And here's where Nicole added the carrot and the carrot top there. Very, very cute. Like I said, just seeing all of these come together. And here we have yours, Brighton Bricks. And for day 10, and you have Woody and Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, again, was out again going for a walk with my little one. We're
Mhm.
outside, saw some flowers, and again, this was a little bit of a. This is again one of what I quite like. I was having a busy day. We hadn't really had time to build things, so again,
Mhm.
having minifigures with me,
You had
and
them
so
with
okay,
you,
yeah,
took them outside,
yeah,
took
all right. They
a
got
picture.
right number of parts. Yep, let's sort of and that's what's quite nice is that you can just sort of do like. And again,
And
this is brilliant. I like this one.
I love this one. This is Gio the Brick Fam Jedi, and what I think is great about this is there's, I guess, is this a real character in Star Wars?
Yeah,
Darth Revan
it's a Star Wars. I
or
think,
Darth Revan?
yeah, it's a he's yeah, it's
I
in the
love
Star Wars
that
universe.
she took a Star Wars figure
Mm,
and said it's important to have a litter-free environment. So they have this evil dark side character cleaning up the environment with the broom and the wastebasket, and I just think it's really well done. And she has the character putting it into the basket
yeah,
and the needles too, which seem to be more common, and then walking away like, okay, my job is done here.
yep,
And there's the breakdown. Yeah, really, really well done. I absolutely love this. So, and it's hard to believe this is only 10 pieces. It seems like a lot more, right? But
yeah,
yeah. Oh, this is mine. And I didn't do the best job with this. I need to get a better camera, but this is where I just added this elf's little animal under the tree. So that's where I was mentioning for day 9 and day 10, I just added the elf and took another picture trying to show cherry blossom trees,
mm.
but it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I think I need to find another another location. Okay, so this is Nick's bricks pick. So remember the frog and the lily pad. So for day 9, they added these pieces, right? They
Yeah.
added these pieces on the landscape,
And
which
the
I'm
next
sorry?
pick's gonna be theirs as well. So the next
Mhm.
pick, you could almost do a bit of a spot the difference between that and the next pick.
Yep,
Work
yep,
out
and
what's in
yep,
that one and not in the other one.
yeah, and that's what's interesting is that this one is where you see the first sign of a plastic bag,
Mm,
right? And it says, "Every day, more and more rubbish is dumped today," and today it was a plastic bag.
mm,
And this is why it's great that the start of the story to the end of the story for the entire month, it was
mm.
just so much fun watching that. And here's PT McEwen. A little late, but spring is coming up slowly but surely. Yeah, and once again, this is going back and using the parts that were in that turtle and dolphin set. Oh, and here's the first mosaic, and it came from you for day
For
16.
me, yeah, again, I was trying to again think of doing different things, and it was just I just went for I just thinking wind, and again, I was just playing around, and again, it was like, okay, I've created as a kite, and then so I thought these kind of blue ones could look like gusts of wind, and
Hmm.
it was just like, yeah,
It's
um,
perfect for a kite.
yeah, and it's sort of
I love it.
it's not about anything really. It's about the environment, as in fly a kite when it's when it's nice and windy. That is that nice and simple. So
So see you, Debo.
yep.
Yep. Yeah, I think people are gonna be watching the replay too, because we wanna make sure we capture people's builds,
Mm.
but we know that not everybody can be here because of the time difference too.
Yeah.
But we're chugging along. Oh, there's our little ad again.
This
This
one again, I didn't at first. This is another one which I didn't think at first
Mhm.
was Lego.
Yeah.
Until again, I looked closer and went, "Ah, yes." And also,
Mhm.
I was thinking, is that, 16 pieces? Where's that? Then only when you looked at it closely, you went,
Yep.
"Ah, yeah,
And then you start thinking, "Wow, she's
yeah."
got a really good eye for this."
Mm.
Yep, exactly.
Is there anything it's when you look at
And
and
here's
again, it's like
Open
this one.
Clothes again. And this is a nice use of the crate
Mm,
and adding all of these flowers in there. I love how they intersperse these leaves too. And
mm.
they took this little photo outside. Really nice. And here we have day 2. What? Wait a minute. Did I get this wrong?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay. It's Words of Lego. So they combined different
yeah,
challenges together. And this is day 16. Yeah.
yeah,
So now we're getting larger builds because we're going into the weekend. Oh, and this is the one that just broke my heart.
yeah.
This is the one, this is the Nyx Bricks Picks. And remember, we saw the first sighting of the bag,
Mm,
and now it's 7 days later. And so you can see that they've added more life, wildlife here. And then the poor wildlife has these plastic bags on them. It was so sad. I had such a hard time looking at this. 16 pieces. But it said exactly what
yeah,
we were trying to get people to raise awareness about the environment,
mm.
and in so many ways people have done that. And here's Omvent Clothes about an insect hotel, which I thought was funny because insects need protection too.
I mean, one of the things here in Brighton, they've recently
Mhm.
announced all new builds have to have, bee bricks in them. So have to have bricks which allow bees to,
Oh,
yeah, they call
interesting.
them bee bricks with
Bee
and
brick.
it's yeah, again, that's what it's like, again, how we have to interact, it's how we are having to interact with the environment
Mhm.
to help the environment.
So this one's from Miss Lobrickta again. And once again, she's doing a great job with her flower
Mm,
builds. And this is using that disc piece, the platter that you see in a
yeah,
lot of friend sets. And I love this color combination.
mm,
She really just has a good eye for this. Oh, and here's
yeah,
the turtles again. I feel so bad, but this is great. Is that she has foreshadowing on this,
yeah,
and you see how this little character is just like off screen, and it's like, wait, what's it we see? Someone possibly coming to help the turtles. Let's hope so. So also building suspense
mm,
for the next build. Yeah, what's the next build going to be in the series? I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. And here's Zerba 7678. So remember they started off with these two pieces, then they added the grass and then some of the brown, and now all of this is all coming together.
mm.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just really, really have so much fun watching these. Oh,
This
and
is
here's one of yours,
another abstract one from me. Again, it was just
22
playing
piece.
playing with just blue and green, which are, green is
Mhm.
the earth, blue
Yeah.
is the sea, and yeah, we're just playing with the colors for it. And again, it's where, and that's what, again, the fun of it, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have to be, we can all
Yeah,
take
it
it in
doesn't
different
have to
directions.
be a current issue. It could just be colors, right?
Yeah,
Mhm. Nicely done. And here's my slow Brickta again. And these were interesting is that look at how she put these web pieces together.
yeah,
And if you look closer, she's got these little barrels in the middle. And I was just blown away by this because, you wouldn't think about those. I think those are from the Spider-Man sets, those flight
Yeah, and they
pieces.
look like it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, like I said, and you look at that and you think it's all part of the same, the same plant. Wow. Yeah, and she said the crocus didn't survive the high winds, but the crocus actually make it look like it's part of the plant.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like I said, she amazes me. She amazes me with her photography and the builds, and yeah. All outdoors this month too, and she lives in Michigan, so you remember the early ones with the snow? That's dedication.
Yes.
So here's another one, a mosaic by Vicarious Brickstress out of Hawaii. And so this one is also talking about the earth colors that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how we need to talk more about the environment. And I think this little one is a fish, right? No, it's not. Oh, it's an earth tile.
It's one of the
Oh,
Lego
it's a little
dots.
earth tile.
It's so cute, that one
That's
is.
very sweet. Yes, thank you, Vicarious Brickstress, for that. Oops, hold up. I gotta get all the way over here. Oh, this one's mine for Earth Day. We added Earth Day to the list, and in addition to the weekend. And there's an inside joke in the Brickanista Broadcast Network of this little crab. And there was one time I was building and I put a coffee mug into the crab's hand. So we were talking about how, people are crabby until they have their coffee. And so we named this character Cindy the Cynical Crab. And one of my followers said, you got to add the coffee cup to that. So I have it with me, and I've got to put the coffee cup on it, and that one will probably stay in my collection as far as a build, as a mock, a standalone mock. But you remember the earlier when I did the 3-piece build, it comes back here.
Yeah, and that's what's just again, it's sort of it's just gonna again, it's that fairly you can tell what it is. It's one of those things really nice, it is dolphins swimming through the sea, and you've got
Right.
that both above and below, so
Above and below. And I've been doing inside outside builds, so I
Mm.
was now playing with above and below. And this was a great way to kind of represent the sea. I would love to put more detail, like the waves of the water, but with the brick limit, we don't get a chance to do that. And this is from PT McEwen. And Mama Nature finds a way. Happy Earth Day. And this one, he wanted to mention that he picked up that book, Adrift, based on
Yes,
your
that's a good book.
recommendation. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you can see, some of the pieces that have been floating up on shore.
Mm.
And Omvent Clods again. And this one is a little carrot stand. And this one, they took a picture on this big tree trunk that had been cut, this little tree stump.
Mm.
So I thought it added a lot of nice detail, just, the locations people choose to take these photos. Oh, this one.
Nice, yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar. There's a TV commercial that aired in the 70s of a Native American canoeing. And it's very similar to what we saw earlier with the Nick's Bricks Picks, where the Native American sees litter on the stream and on the side of the shore.
Yeah.
And at the very end, spoiler alert, but it's been like 40 years, he cries at the end of the commercial that like his land has been, taken away from him. And, at the ending says, people start pollution, people can stop it. And so this whole vision of the eye crying was just so well done. I really am just impressed. And here we have another beautiful flower. And for April 23rd for the weekend brick limit. And once again, Ms. Slobrichta, she just comes up with these great combinations every time. And your mosaic is also the whole idea of sea pollution here with
Yeah,
the
that's
little dark.
grayness of that.
Mhm.
Again, it was just me going through again, a lot of this is I was particularly this part of the month, I was suffering mental health and I was going through
Mm,
and so actually trying to think of anything. So a lot of it was just more the relaxation. The
yeah.
weird thing, the reason why there is a dot in the far right corner
Mhm.
is because obviously the number of bricks had to be used, dated 23, and because obviously I was trying to have something symmetrical, so
Mhm.
that only used 22. No, it had used 21 there because the base plate's 22.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, where am I gonna find a 23? And it's like, okay, let's just stick something right at the top
And
corner.
it's the sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what I kind of thought. That's when I
Yeah.
put it there, I
It's
was like,
perfect.
it's kind of representing. But again, I just again, it was like these are just were part of therapy, part of
Mhm.
kind of just nice, just playing around really, and that helps. And we got another build.
Yep. And this is the tree growing,
Yeah,
which is great. I just love this, how it just, a whole scene is being built. And every week you get to see what's happening with the scene. Yeah. And this is good because we're getting close to the end of the month and you can see the stories coming
yeah.
together.
We can
And
see
here's Brick's next picks
we can now
cleaning up.
start to see somebody is actually helping the
Hmm.
you know,
And I love this torso. This torso of was it like
yeah,
an angelfish and I guess a jumping dolphin?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so Brick Nick, and she is collecting rubbish from the pond. She's getting those plastic bags off the turtle heads. And I like how they use this piece too as a handle. I think is that um, a
It looks
ski
like a
pole?
ski yeah, it looks like a
I think
ski
it's a
pole,
ski
yeah,
pole.
yeah,
Yeah. And look, this you almost can hear the turtle saying, "Thank you. I didn't like
yeah,
that." And the other two still have it over their
yeah.
heads.
Me.
Yeah, help me too. This is just so well done. Let me see if I think she might have another angle here. Yeah, where she's talking to the turtles and saying, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." Just so, so sweet.
Mm,
Like I said, I just love hosting this challenge because you see the creativity and some of the really important stories too to help. Yeah, and more gardens growing, Lego Elf 7. And this one is interesting because the little one decided to take over. So
okay.
it's interesting that the child was watching the parent do this, and then it's like, "Hey, I want to do this too."
These
And
I mean,
yeah.
this challenges as well. I mean, I do a lot of workshops for kids and
Mhm,
adults, and one of the things I
mhm.
always do with my kids' workshops is I do is basically inspired by this. I say to them, all right, what is today's date? Ask them
Mhm.
what day of the month it is, and I say, okay, all right, now for 10 minutes, build something with that number of parts. Because I think this is something which again encourages kids. It's a really good thing for kids to know because it means you don't sometimes when people feel like you have to have loads of bricks to do Lego, and
Right.
it's sometimes when you're told, "No, you got 23 or 26 or whatever,"
Mhm.
it's nice to know, okay, yeah, you don't have to have loads of parts, you can have
Yep.
whatever you've got, and it's just yeah, I think it's a great thing for kids to do. It's like
Yeah, I agree. And accessibility is all about what we do. And
yeah,
this was actually interesting. Warlord of Empire started joining the weekend brick limit. And I think they didn't know that we were focusing on environmental issues. And but I think that looking at the builds, it was really fun to just see the stories come together. It goes back to, and you'll see later, there's another one where one is trapped in a cage. And here's Miss Slobricta again, and this is her ABS version of a narcissus daffodil with
yeah,
his
good.
feral cousins. And the coral narcissus have not bloomed yet. Yeah. So the whole idea of rebirth and new beginnings. So she, like I said, she just does some really good work here using
And
nature as a model.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. This one, Omvent Clothes.
Yes.
This one was talking about helping the environment by buying secondhand things whenever possible. And that instead of buying new furniture,
Mm.
check out a thrift store or flea market. And I think people sometimes are embarrassed to go to flea markets or flip thrift stores. But if anything, this is a perfect example of how you're actually helping the environment
Yeah.
by reusing something that was worn by somebody else before or
Yeah.
used by somebody else
This
before.
yeah, is what I was saying earlier about the 3 Rs, and that's why,
Hmm.
reduce, reuse, recycle. Really, that's
Yeah.
why reuse is so much more important. You know, rather than just throw away an old table or,
Hmm.
try and recycle it,
Yeah.
see if it has a life it can be give to someone else. Can it, you know,
Hmm. This
and
was one of my favorite builds this
mm,
month. Was because it also conveys that it's something we can do together. So somebody sells something, somebody buys something, we're helping the environment together.
and we're also helping the economy, the community.
Mhm.
That, if you're selling a
Yeah,
secondhand table, that money goes back to the person who's got it. It's not going
exactly.
back to a giant
Not to the
organization who
big box,
yeah,
retailers, yeah.
and so, it helps,
Um, slide 4 is the weekend brick limit bounty hunter. So, when you first look at this, you're thinking excuse me, is this a weekend brick limit? But it's actually this one.
yeah.
And they decided to take kind of a Star Wars theme with this, and I thought this was interesting. I think this is almost like a treadmill, maybe.
I
I'm not
think so,
sure.
yeah. That's what I thought when I saw it. It has that
Hmm.
sort of feel to it.
Yeah, but it's funny because Pierrot Lego. This is kind of foreshadowing what May's brick limit is going to be. We might have a lot next month, so I might have to think about how to do the review. So this one is from Vicarious Brickstress, and this one's a 24-piece build. And look at
That's
the
beautiful.
colors that she
That's
has
I mean,
in
that's
here.
what this is one of I mean, I do a lot of mosaic workshops,
Hmm.
and this is part of the reason for things like that is that there are just so many great colors now in those
Yeah,
parts that I get
the
people come to
dots.
me just
And
assuming
she's out of
Legos.
Hawaii,
Yeah.
so talk about a beautiful place to be inspired to for with Lego. Oops. Oh, did I hit the end? No, I couldn't have hit the end. Hold up.
Um,
I
no,
think
there's still a few more. There's
yeah,
still a
I'm
few more.
sure there's a few more.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see, where did
Yep.
I leave off? I
Just
left
get further up.
off Maui Sunset.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. I must have hit the wrong button. Okay.
You probably hit back twice. You probably
Hmm. So this is Seal Bricks, and they decided once again, this is interesting because people who heard about the challenge later in the month didn't know what the theme was, but they decided to do this based on what they were working on at the time. So this one is a pirate build and using the whole idea of the daily brick limit. So I thought that was really cool that we're now getting people who heard about it. Oh, there's a challenge out there. Well, let's go ahead and build on that
yeah,
challenge. And this is great because I don't put prizes on the last couple challenges. I will like, on occasion, but I think it's more important just to get people
yeah.
building, and also if there's a message that we can put forward. But I love the details here too with the chest and this torso. I think this is from a Ninjago set,
Yeah, that
maybe.
looks like an Ninjago set.
Yeah, I love that torso. I might have to get that torso. So once again, when I see these challenges, there's like, that's a piece? I didn't know that was a piece.
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing. It's all about, um, again, it's showing people what
Hmm.
else there is. I mean, there's so much Lego. So,
So this one is a twofer for me. This is a rebrick challenge and Eco the Brick. So what I've done is a 23-piece build on the left and a 24-piece build on the right. And I did both of them on my Twitch stream, and I did them both in about a half an hour. So it was funny because I was telling people I don't really think ahead, because you were asking about, do you think ahead, when you're planning? I just look at the pieces and kind of like as a sculptor would, you just kind of think, oh, okay, that looks good over here. I'll put this one over here.
Yeah.
And the thing about the one on the right is that it made me think that could be like a mock mascot. That this little mascot might be sitting next to you while you're building saying, you can do it. Keep going. At least that's what was going on in my mind. Yeah, so here's the 23 piece build. And then I broke it down. Oops. And yeah, the other one was a 24 piece build. And here's Omvent Clothes again, talking about being at the market. And it says, a fun little build I thought about after last week, weekend brick limit, had time today to finish it, which is nice. Now, I think, I want to say this is more than 24 pieces or 30 pieces, I think. I think what they did is they took some of their brick limit, so the carrot stand that he did earlier.
Unless they were counting people.
It.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, unless they're counting people as only one, I don't know.
I think what it was is this is a mock that came out of a daily brick limit post.
Yeah.
So he did the flower or the carrot cart, and that was part of this challenge. But then he said, you know what, I could just make a whole market using that kind of as a base.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I love about this challenge is that sometimes you'll create something and then, hey, I can make a bigger mock out of this later. Yeah. So I think that's, I think, yeah, there's definitely more than 30 pieces in here, or 29, I think. Yeah. Really nicely done. And in this case, if you work on tech, work towards using renewable energy for your data center with all the streaming services. So this is another really great way to, take a look at all these cool pieces that have come out too from Lego. Like these, I think were from the space station. And then all of these slopes and printed tiles. Yeah, that's a really good shot right there. Are you frozen, Nick?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm just staring at all the different pieces. I'm just trying
to
I'm just trying to recognize some of them.
And he mentions in the description, allegedly, it costs less energy to use a real car when testing than using a simulation. So we need our politicians to make it easier for companies to use renewable energy and tax them when they don't. So this is the final for day 30. And if you think about it, Omvent Clothes went all over the map in all different ways, and each build was so well done. And this goes back to Piron Lego, random post. So this one, it looks like they were doing multiple builds.
Yeah.
So they did like, let's build medieval. And then I think ours is slide 7. So we're going to go to slide 7. I think, is it this one? Maybe this one. I think this one. Yeah, I think this is ours. Yeah, and so once again, this is like we put out the challenge out there and we said eco the brick, but yet people said, well, I'm a Star Wars builder, so I'm going to build Star Wars. And I'm just going to say, oh, there's 30 pieces here, so we're going to go ahead and do this.
It's about the environment in Star Wars.
Yeah. So. I love this headpiece too. That is great. Yeah, so we're getting close to the Warlord Empire. See, this is another builder who just decided to jump in on the weekend brick limit, and it's a Star Wars kind of build.
Yeah.
It's like we welcome everybody because we just want people building.
That's the thing. It's it's all.
Oh, and this one's so sweet. This is like burying people in the sand, it's like a fun pastime. So After burying his sister in the sand, my son would sneak up and take her snorkel mask. They wore those UV blocking swim shirt thingamabobs and just a little sunscreen on their faces. Although the reef at our favorite beach had experienced some bleaching, citing a colorful fish was like finding hidden treasure.
Wow. Yeah.
Mahalo nui and happy Hawaiian hug. H3. Yeah, she's so sweet. I had a chance to meet her on a sort lug call,
Yeah.
and so she's been extremely supportive and just brings in Hawaii to a lot of her builds, which is awesome. Okay, and here we are. This is where we started. And this, I'm glad we went in this order because it shows you the end of the story, right?
Yeah.
That she cleaned up the pond, she took all that trash, and now she's taking photos of a nice area. And I love how she added this little ladybug dot. I didn't know they had ladybug printed dots like that.
Mm.
It's like, wow. Yeah. And like I said, it's just great to see the whole story come together. And I think we're at the end of this.
Yeah, it's weird what some weird enough on the top one. There's some others which didn't appear so far because I don't know if you go back to the screen, go further up to the top. Go back, stop, go back down.
Oh, these are the top posts. Actually,
Yeah, the top posts. I quite find
yeah.
these go a bit further down. Scroll down. Sorry, there's the one with the green ducks.
This
I really
one,
like
yes,
that.
candy bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about Instagram is that they categorize things by top posts and recent posts.
I know.
So I'm glad you mentioned that because we have this that they started. I should go back because this one also has a story. This started with this, where it was the splat gear and an egg. And the egg, you know, it's a beginning of a interesting story.
Mm.
And then you have, I want to say, I thought it was this one, yeah. And so the egg, you know, emerges an alligator or a baby alligator. And then after that, that's where you see the two ducks joining in.
I just love that kind of, you know, yeah, that weird combination of
And what's
green
interesting is that she didn't have to do this one because we're only doing the weekend brick limit.
Yeah.
And so this one came out too, which was super cute. It's like the alligator has friends now.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. And I think P.T. McEwen, this one popped in and this was his garden growing some more. Okay, let's see. And then this one's Miss Lobricta, another one of her flowers, which, as you can see, she does an amazing job with that. And let's see. Oh, this is one of your mosaics.
Yes. Again, another one. This one I did for. Yeah. This was part. I was just doing again patterns and stuff. Again, I still built, but and it's the water.
But it looks like
there's a second, and then there's a second picture which represents the whole thing. So, and again, it was just me playing with the idea of that repetition of same, like if you look at the kind of the sequence of pieces are the same for each color on, and it just again it was just about that playing with patterns and you know again this is why I just love mosaics because you know they can be whatever you like. It was just
and it's abstract exactly. And kind of along those lines we have Hannah and More where she did Happy Earth Day and Happy Friday, and here's Earth spelled out with 24 pieces or 22 pieces because this was Earth Day. Very sweet.
Which is again that's just a very different way of again that's what's for me is fascinating. It's all these different ways of people have taken this one kind of you know theme really, and it's like
excuse me. And here we have Warlord of Empire, and they once again they took the kind of the Star Wars theme and overlaid weekend brick limit on there, and we have the start of which is probably a good segue. Let me make sure I got all of them.
Yeah, I think that's
I think
everyone.
we got all of them. Okay, so here's the most recent one because the next theme for this month is space. Anything related to space. And sounds
I'm
like
now
we had
I'm now
fun.
looking around my I'm now looking around my room, find what I can find.
Here, let me stop sharing this for a moment. I know I haven't been watching the chat, so let me just check. Okay, we haven't had a lot in the chat. I
Yeah.
think because we've also been going for an hour and 45 minutes, which
Oh,
I was
yeah, we have,
surprised,
yeah.
and that was just the one challenge. But
Mm.
let me, because I know some people may have to, let me just share this really quickly because I am working on the graphic for next month. And okay, well, it's not showing up. Okay, so what we're doing for the next month is we're going to be doing space as the theme. In fact, I have a banner, space. So we're going to be using space as the theme for next month, for the month of May, which starts today.
That's
So
what so
day one,
I've
one
got
piece.
basically I've now got an hour to work something out now. Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's okay. Just one piece. I think you can do it.
I think I can find something. Yeah,
Now, the other thing I think we probably need to do is, oh, let me give you full screen.
I'm just showing off. The new Buzz Lightyear figure.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first theme which my son wanted to get on the day it came out. He's
Now, is
never
that
been
one
so
piece?
he's never been so excited about a Lego set coming out. And there was a
Mm-hmm.
4+ one he wanted. He's fascinated because he's 4. He's fascinated with sets which say 4+. And it's like literally, we went to the Lego shop and they told us it's coming out tomorrow, and so we had to go back the next day, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to complain about. So, and yeah, he was. So yeah, I got think so that's one piece. I got to try and find what one piece can I find? I'm now
Well,
going yeah.
I've made the announcement, so if people want to, I am going to go through a couple of the rebrick challenges because we only
Mm.
have a few. Because I think it was a little more challenging for people to do that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to use a black background for this, I think. So I'm going to share my screen before we close, just because I want to make sure people get airtime and some feedback. And let's see, here we go. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go with the most recent. And we've already seen some of them. And I think, let me go back. Yeah. Okay. So we have this, I believe, is the first one.
Yeah, I think that's
This
the first
one.
one I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, Lego Yits. And what they did, excuse me, they did this along with the Brickmaster 2022 challenge.
Mm.
So Brickmaster 2022 challenged them to pick 1 to 3 sets and make this into an at for the first challenge. So they did that, and it qualifies as a rebrick as well. So it's funny to see the pieces in that set being used this way. All right, and then we have this one from Doc Sampson. Now, Doc Sampson, I think he did this on his stream, and he uses these puppet gloves or these fuzzy gloves.
Yeah.
So also having to work through it that way is just, and what I love about all of these is the characters. So you notice that the eyes were very instrumental in a
Yeah.
lot of these builds. Good job. Looks like my voice is starting to go. I do have some water here, but this is from Brixish. And these are characters, Bonkers Butterfly and the sidekick Mad Moo.
I mean, I just love them. I mean, you can sort of imagine there will be some sort of weird cartoon of series with them
Yeah,
in, you know.
yeah. And I love how the eyes were kind of off. One's
Yeah.
pointing up this way, and the other one's pointing down this way. And I love this, butterfly wing. It's great. I
I just love.
love.
I feel looks like the kind of the butterfly looks very happy, yet his
Mhm.
little companion looks a bit miserable.
Yeah,
There's that
he's
sense
like
of going, "Oh no, what trouble has he got into now?"
the sidekick. Oh, okay. So that was one of yours. This is from, I think, let's see. Is
Oh,
this from
yeah,
you?
that was when I was at a wind farm.
Oh, okay.
That was I did a workshop at wind. We brought in. We have a lot of wind farms off the coast of
Mm-hmm.
the south coast, and we have a visitor centre which I do a lot of workshops there. Again, it's about that promoting kind of and it's really quite. Then they do like do activities. It's quite cool. Oh yeah, this is
I
my
like the
one, which is
monster
again.
face.
I was just trying to create a weird face, creature monster
Mm-hmm.
face. I love this one because I love how it's upside down or how
Yes,
they.
the Brick Brain TV. This is Eric up in Washington here. And this is also inspired by the succulents, which I thought was cool. Is that, he made like a base and that this is like a succulent plant that's growing out of it. I really like that. And you can see mine is kind of similar. This one I call like a sea anemone, which I was kind of starting with the pinwheel kind of shape when you look at the top down. And I don't know, I just imagine this being underwater. And we already saw these. This was another rebrick I did of these two this little flower garden and this little character. Oh my God, look at this one. Speedy
That is so
Kiwi
cool.
92.
That is just so cool, that one.
So cute. Yes. And this
That
one,
should be that should be in the same cartoon series as the previous ones. Yeah.
yes, with the well, what I love is when you do a rebrick, the color palette is already done for you.
Yeah.
And this one, it's so cute. The eyes really do it. Okay. And let's see, these are mine. And let's see, I think we have this one, another Brick Brain TV one, which looks like a starfighter.
Yeah, it's sort of it could be some sort of alien tech or yeah, or
Oh,
again,
actually, it's a butterfly. It's a large butterfly
yeah.
because it says that butterflies are essential part of the ecosystem as pollinators. And when planting your spring garden, be sure to add some flowers for the butterflies. That's so cool. Brick Brain does such a good job on these. And that one's a different challenge.
That was the
Yeah, the top, when you go to the top, sometimes it's hard to pick them up. Here's
yeah.
another Brick Brain TV, an ocean mech suit. And when I first saw this, I thought it was like a space alien,
Yeah.
with these little tubes coming out of the back. Yeah, and I'm just still impressed he made it into a mech.
Yeah.
Here's a couple other views, and of course the crab on the side.
You have to get the crab.
And he added a minifig just to show that it is a mech. Or actually, did that come with minifigs? No, it didn't
No, it
because it
didn't,
was
no.
a creator 3-in-1. Yeah, but I still think it's hilarious that he showed the close up with the minifig inside. That was super fun. And I think this one's the last one, which is another set of really cool characters.
Yeah, this I love this one. Again,
Yeah.
it's sort of some kind of weird. I'm trying to think. It's either the moon, a moon character, or a biscuit.
I thought of a biscuit because it
Yeah,
reminded me of those characters you see before the movie starts when you're at the movie theater
yeah,
where they have like the popcorn is walking and the soda pop is walking and a candy bar is walking. That's what came to mind. So I thought of a biscuit too. And this little rabbit character,
yeah.
oh my gosh, hilarious. Super, super funny. Yeah. And once again, this is what we were doing. So I will be posting Let me stop sharing. But thank you everybody for participating. I mean, this was really so much fun to do.
Mm.
And thank you, Nick, for being a part of all this and
No,
for
my pleasure.
encouraging me to go ahead and launch the weekend brick limit this April. And so the big announcement is the month of May, space related builds. So our friends Wardlord and Pietro, I think Lego, already started that for the month of April. So it could be Star Wars, it could be any space related build, but just go out there and have fun uh, doing what you can with regard to Lego and space related builds for the month of May.
Yeah, I've got my head on already, so I'm thinking, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you again, Nick. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. And thanks for being part of the show and for everybody who's been here hanging out with us in the chat. I know it's been a long one. Vicarious Bricks, is it best to post the graphic along with the build? No, you don't have to do that. A lot of people have been doing that because they have other people who follow them and they want to know about the challenge. So, but if you want to, you absolutely can. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. And thank you so much for jumping in on the builds too. And it was so great to meet you at Sortlug the other day. So thank you, Vicarious Brickstress, Debo, Glenn Copeland. I think Mr. Dewey was here earlier and anybody else who might be watching this later. So once again, we just want to encourage people to build.
Yeah.
And we may not have big prizes, but we have big hearts. So
And
thank you
yeah, that's
again,
what it's
Nick. Thank
and
you for
that's what it's
staying
fun.
up so late too, because this turned out to be a 2-hour stream, which
Yeah,
wasn't the plan. But we also had some technical difficulties, which I think I'm going to need to refresh my PC
yeah.
and get it back in order because I think I've had some issues this week, and I just wanted to thank you again for being such a great support during. You were talking about mental health and other issues that it's always great to have this positive community to help
Yeah.
lift us up
And
because that's
especially
something
also
that
in
it's
America, I mean, you may know already, but I was I mean, especially in America, because it is actually Mental Health Awareness Month in the US
Mhm.
starting today.
Oh,
So again,
I could use it.
yeah. So again, I will start posting again this month as well, a bit more. Again, I will post regularly on mental health as well. And I think, as I was saying, we just need. All I would say to people is these challenges are all meant to be fun. If they
Right.
if they don't become fun, then you just need to stop them. It's like I I tried to take part in the Brick Master Challenge,
Mhm.
and the first few I really enjoyed, but then I didn't, and
You
because it
don't
was
have
I had a
to.
I had a
Yeah.
crisis of confidence, and I didn't feel compared a bit of an imposter syndrome, and feeling like, and it was getting too stressful. And I just went, no, it's
There were several people who said that you when it gets to the point where it's not fun
mm,
and Lego isn't fun anymore, that you have to follow your heart. For some people, it's fun to be part of this competition, and that's
mm,
great. But it doesn't mean you have to do
no,
every single challenge. In fact, if you've already done one, you already get the Brickmaster brick. You know that, right?
did I? Oh, it
Yeah.
hasn't.
Yeah, you gotta send Alyssa your address. So
Oh, I've
you
got to do
gotta
that then.
text her with
Okay,
your address.
I need
Yeah.
to check that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and that's why I think you just have to treat these things as like they are meant to be fun, and
Right.
you can't compare. You just got do what you want to do, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't try
Right.
and compare what
No,
you're
you
doing
just
compared to
gotta
anyone
do
else.
what
Just
you
okay, look,
can.
am I enjoying what I'm doing? Yes or no. And if you are,
Mhm.
that's perfect. So yeah,
Right. So thank you again. You've
no
been
problem.
awesome, and I look forward to chatting with you some more. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. I know it was a long stream. I think this is the first time we've done a review of the Rebrick This and the Weekend Brick Limit. So
Yeah.
next time it'll only be Weekend Brick Limit, but we may just do highlights. We may not be able to get to everybody's because it was just a lot. Happy Hawaiian hugs, H3 to you too. Thank you for welcoming me into this wonderful world of challenges and people. Oh, you're welcome. So glad to have you here. And once again, thank you, Nick Bright. Thank you, Bright and Bricks, for being a part of this
No worries.
journey. And we'll see you more on Instagram, and we'll probably do another review sometime in the month of May.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you so much, everybody.
No worries.
Have a great day,
You too.
and stick around, Nick. I'll have a chat
Yeah.
with you in
All
a
right.
little bit.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody. And as they say on the Brickanista Broadcast Network, may the clutch be with you. Take care. Bye.